Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, looks like we're getting everything ready to go. Like everything is running, so that is definitely good. And let's see what is going on. Alright, so here are the standings, or the starting grid for the Daytona race. So Russell, Haley, Weaver, Reddick, and Bell are the top 5. With I think the first player car, 6th place is Reeves. And then as we scroll down for the last place, or the end of the field, Taylor, Carter, Srivastava, and Emerson. So we are getting ready to start.
Drivers,
Is this on? Drivers, start your engines.
And it looks like everybody is good to go. No blown engines. So I think Taylor's going a little slow. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Go ahead and turn off the sound on my end. And we can take a look at the start of this race. Alright, so pace car is in, and here we go for the start of season 2. And they have the green flag. And wow, it looks like Russell at 39 got a huge run at that green flag. It didn't even look like he needed any help. It looks like the 3 wide going on for third place. With all computer cars. Computer cars are slightly better than the player cars, at least at the starting they will be. But after a couple of weeks and some upgrades, they will start to go back in the pack. So, but they're very close, so that even a player car could win any race they come into. As we have almost 3 wide for first place, but it looks like the 39 car did back off a little bit just so it wasn't 3 wide going past that start and finish line. But he has taken that outside line, or got pushed to the outside line, so he is definitely not where he wants to be right now. It was very close. We do see O'Brien in that 55 car, which is a player car, coming up to try to challenge for that lead position if he can get past that 10 car, which is Weaver, because they are right there, right next to that entire front part of the field is right next to each other. So hopefully nobody makes any mistakes, as nobody behind them is going to have anywhere to go if there is a mistake. As we see O'Brien in that 55 has gotten off that low end, or that low line, which could have been a mistake, as that 16 is getting pushed by the 17 Mass. And maybe he'll get pushed into the lead, as they are 3 wide for the lead. Looks like the 16 car was able to get under the 10. We'll see if he's able to get past them being on that lower line. Doesn't look like he will get it this turn, as the 10 car did jump right in front of him, causing him to check up a little bit. As now 10 and the 01 now are still battling out for the lead. We do see that pink 32 of Baxter coming up towards the front of the the pack. And as they come out of this backstretch into turn 3, it's still 10 and 01 battling it out. 01 of Haley, and then the 10 of Weaver. And then everybody behind them is who knows in what position. As if you get stuck to that outside line, you can drop 10 to 15 positions very quickly if you can't get back down to that middle or inside lane. Looks like the middle or inside line is the fastest here at this Daytona race. As it feels like as soon as they get bumped to the outside, as we do see that 01 starting to get bumped to the outside, which is causing him to lose a little bit of ground. And now that 16 is right there. And that 16 has the help of Mass, as well as the 26 and the 56. We'll see if he's able to get pushed to the lead, as they're still 3 wide for the lead. We're going to see who can lead this lap. It looks like maybe the 16 car of Reed was able to lead that lap, but it was very close as they are 3 wide for the lead. The 01 is getting pushed up into no man's land. There's nobody behind him. He's going to probably drop 10 positions if he can't get into the mid to low line. It looks like he possibly gotten. No, it doesn't look like he's going to get to that low line, though the 8 might try to help him out. As we're still in, for the most part, a very big pack of cars. Nobody has fallen off the draft yet. As we do see 17 of Mass trying to get past O'Brien to see if he can battle out for the lead. We'll see if the 16, it's like a 16 of Reed left a little bit of daylight on his inside, so Mass is right there, seeing if he can get a push by that 26 car. As they're heading into a turn number 3, the 16 still is in the lead. It's getting pushed by the 55 of O'Brien, though the 17 of Mass is right there. The Mass might be able to get past him. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to, as the 16 of Reed was able to completely lead that lap, as he got a great run heading past that start and finish line. And then O'Brien in that 55 is getting stuck out on that outside line. He is going to start dropping positions, but at least there is a third line of cars now, so that'll help out anybody that gets stuck on that outside line not fall back too far. As now we're about 3 wide from 3rd place all the way to almost like 30th position. We'll see how long that lasts, especially as some of these cars are tires get wear. We do see O'Brien bumping the wall a little bit. He may have raced a little bit too hard at the beginning of this race, and his tires are starting to show. We take a look at him. He's dropped back about 5 positions since he bumped the wall a little bit. As you see back behind him, a few cars had to check up a little bit, but this pack is starting to spread out a bit. These front cars are starting to pull away a bit, as we do see the 26 now trying to get past that 16 of Reed, 26 of Denise. And he does have the help by the 17 of Mass. As the pack has stretched out a bit, for the most part, they are now 2 by 2 for most of the pack. As the 26 is probably about a half a car length now about a full car length ahead of the 17 of Mass. Mass now taking that outside line, not where he wants to be, as we see the 56 of Davis and then 00 of Custer coming up quickly with a ton of player cars, as they have that inside line, which is the much faster line. As for the most part, everybody is. As we go 3 wide for the lead, heading past the start and finish line into turn 1. We'll see if the 16 has the run. Mass Well, Mass didn't have anybody at the start, but 70 ended up bouncing down, and the 26 is out with no help. He could drop a decent amount of positions, and that's going to take him a while to catch back up. We take a look at the race right now, as we see that everybody's within 2 seconds of each other, which is definitely good. As we do see that 26 car getting pushed to the outside, end up bumping the wall. Yeah, the field filler cars, I just grab random cars because for the most part they don't last very long. Like in season 1, I think about 5 to 10 races, I think there were filler cars, and then by then, I think by like the 11th race, there was no filler cars and it was all player cars. So the computer cars at the start of each season are usually a tiny bit better than the player cars. But as the season progresses, the player cars end up getting a ton better than the filler cars. As we do see 16 of Reed start to take a decent lead on the 17 of Mass and the 56 of Davis. So we can see if any of these guys are going to get a good run, as we did see that 70 almost clip the 00 of Custer. And that would have been very bad for the rest of the field, as everybody is still very much packed together. Nobody yet has dropped off the pace, which is definitely good. Though we'll see if are any pit stops. There might be some pit stops towards the end of the race. You see Custer running a little bit high heading into that, heading out of that 4th corner. As we see Mass still trying to catch up to that number 16 car. If he does take that outside line, which looks like he's getting pushed to the outside, as the 21 of Sanders is now coming in. He's got a little bit of help by the 12 of Bishop, as well as the 58. So he may be able to get past these 2 cars, and depending on how long that group of cars stays drafting, may be able to catch up to Reed in that 16 car. And that 16 car right now has all the clean air. And everybody behind him is basically battling it out for the 2nd place. So he's definitely has not had any competition for about 3 or 4 laps now, as we hit lap 15 of 40. As we take a look at some of the cars in the back. Now we saw Baxter in that pink 32 car. She was up towards the front for a little while, but it looks like she may have gotten stuck on that outside line and end up falling back. We see the 57 of Taylor. He started out last place and currently in 29th, so he is slowly moving his way up. And then we have a couple of 3 wides going on. We see O'Brien, I think, was towards the front at the start of a race. Looks like the 8 may have slid against the wall a little bit. That exiting that 4th corner, I can see is having some issues. And it looks like, cars are just slowly spreading out. As we do see Davis actually ended up passing Mass and Sanders, and now is going for the lead. He definitely has the help by the 21 of Sanders. Davis at 56 and Sanders in that 21. And right now Reed in that 16 does not have any help currently. And if somebody jumps on the inside of the 56, that 16 is going to be stuck. That 16 is stuck on that outside line with no help. Mass is on that line, so he will be helping him a little bit once he catches up. But right now, it looks like Davis, that 56, led that lap, but that 58 car of Martin was right behind him. And then that 56 again, it gets stuck on that outside line, as the 58 kind of slides up and leaving room for Walker Sr. in that gray number 3. He has help by the 08, 34, and 22, as that inside lane is just continuously pushing up. As we see the main pack again forming back up into 3 wide. So battle for first place. Looks like 58 probably got that lap. is battling out, and then for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all the way probably 20th, at least 25th position is now 3 wide. So again, getting stuck on that outside line could drop you 10 to 15 positions very quickly if you can't get back to that mid to inside line. So we take a look. Looks like everybody still is under 2 seconds away from the lead, which is definitely very close. We're now back to 3 wide for the lead. As we see, looks like that pink car of Baxter now is last place, and if she can't catch back up, may fall off the pace, as everybody's going about 209 miles an hour now. If you drop off, you can easily get to a sub 200 miles an hour. As we see if Walker Jr. or Walker Sr. in that 3 car can catch up and get past that 58. It looks like he probably will. It depends how, if that 58 decides to cut down. Looks like he cut in front of the 22, but didn't have enough room to get in front of the 3 car. And the 58 kind of slid up a little bit. Definitely did not help that 3rd line at all. Sliding up, look, maybe touched the wall. If he didn't touch the wall, he came very close and had to slow down a bit. As we now have 58 of Martin now leading the race. It looks like he'll probably get a little bit of help by that 3 Walker Sr. if he can get past the 21 of Sanders. He does have the help of the 08. If the 08 doesn't decide to come up and try to get beside him. Looks like he tried to stick his nose right below the 3, but was not able to make it. We're heading outside to corner 3, and we see the 34, that blue 34, coming up on that low line. Now it looks like he was blocked by the Walker Sr. As Walker Sr. is just trying to stay right behind the 58, trying to move around, trying to stay in front of everybody. Was not able to stay in front of the 34, as here comes, I think that's Moto in the 34. Yeah, Moto 34 was able to get beside him. As we'll see if the 58, looks like the 58 is going to pull the 3 in front of the 34, and now the 3 is going to see if he can lead a couple of laps. And again, everybody's still right here, right within each other. So we are on lap 22 of 40. We're over halfway done with this race. We'll see if Moto on that 34, yep, he's going to get beside that 3 car. And see if he can lead any of these, a couple of these laps. We take a look at the back of the pack. Looks like the 32 of Baxter, she just has not been able to get going. And then Yates in that unsponsored 25 car towards the end. Oh, looks like that 58 gets into the wall a little bit heading out of that fourth corner, slowing down that third lane or line. Oh yeah, he has dropped back considerably. Now some of these guys are thinking that 36 is thinking about going 4 wide, but I think he decided against that. As I mean, this is Daytona. But 4 wide is definitely pushing, especially heading outside of heading out of any of these corners. It looks like the 36 and the 58 finally dropped back into one of the lines. And right now, it looks like Moto now is leading the race. Yes, he is in that 34 car. As he has about a car length ahead of second place. We'll see if looks like he's going to get caught up to at the start of this second turn number 1 and 2. As we see his main pack still all right next to each other. So we see a couple of new cars in that 72 of Reeves and Zero Thorn. See if they are able to stay in that bottom lane. If they're able to stay in that bottom lane, they may be able to compete for a either a win or even a top finish. Yeah, if they get stuck to that outside line, could end badly for them. But if they stay in just these two lines, it could do well for most of these drivers up here to stay where they are. We scroll back towards the back of the pack. It looks like Baxter was able to get on that inside line, that number 32, and looks like, yeah, Bishop in that 12 he actually came out into the wall. Maybe something wrong with his car, as he has dropped all the way back to last place, and Moto is also with him too in that 31. So we'll have to keep an eye on them, as Moto in that in this 34 car currently been leading the last couple of laps. Yeah, we'll see if Walker Sr. in that gray 3 car is able to catch up to him and get past him. You probably will need some help to get past him, though. That 08 is now jumping to the inside, as Moto has left that inside line wide open. Yeah, it looks like the 08 may have led that lap. It was very close. As we see the 26 now attempting to pass the 08. It was not able to get past him that turn, but may be able to get past him as he has a little bit of help, it looks like, from the 72 that's right behind him. And then Thorne now has decided she wants to try to get past that 72 and see if she can catch up to that 26 car. And the 08 is going to have to try to be careful not to get stuck to that outside line like Moto and Walker Sr. in that 34 and 3, all towards that top lane, starting to drift back. That's definitely not where they want to be, especially with that third line not having anybody behind that 02. So those corners, they lose a ton of momentum coming out of those corners. And here comes Thor now, seeing if she could take the lead towards the end of this race. About 12 laps remaining. Is the 26 going to cut her off? It looks like he will. It looked like Taylor in that 56, who started last place, thought about taking that inside line of Thorne in that 0 car. He's in that 56 black car right behind her, as he has worked his way all the way up to like a top 5 position from starting last place. So he's definitely doing very good this race. So we see, can Thorne get past the 26? She has all the help she can get behind her. 26 is able to block her again during that corner. So we head to the start and finish line for lap 30 of 40. As right now the 26 of Denise and the 08 of Malin right now leading this race. The 26 is leaving a ton of daylight right on that low line. Looks like Thorne was able to look at it. Is she going to be able to get at least beside that 26 car? It looks like she's not going to be able to get beside him this turn. Still a long way to go, and doesn't look like anybody has dropped off the pace yet, and doesn't look like anybody will. As right now, first and second are battling it out. Looks like 26 has gotten past him, and Thorne in that 0 car looks like she got a decent run heading out of that corner, but the 26 got a better one. As right now, lead 26 has really nobody beside him, and the second place was 3 wide for a little bit, but the 08 ended up falling back a bit as he is definitely on that outside line, getting pinched into the wall a bit. So that is not going to help any of those cars behind him at all as they continue to fall back. As right now the 26 has about a car length ahead of the 22, which is Martinez. And I'll see if these two can link together and try to pull away in these last few laps. Nope, doesn't look like Martinez wanted to wait at all, as he jumped right to that inside line along with the 15 of Poole. Looks like he's going to get past him. We'll see if he's able to hold it the last about 7 laps or so, as Martinez in that 22 is leading the race currently, and he has the help of the 0 on the inside. If he's able to stay, he is not able to stay on that line. So those leaders definitely need to stay on that inside line, stay on that yellow line during the corners. They are able to stay in the lead, but most of the time they end up taking a mid to high line and end up getting passed by the inside. So everybody's still within 2 seconds of each other. So yeah, I'm watching the stream as well, and I don't see any buffering. So I've got the stream running on my PC as well as on my phone, and it looks okay on my end. As we see Martinez again leading this race. Looks like Thorne in that 0 is trying to get past that 15 and 57, able to get past Taylor. You have even if Taylor finishes top 5, that is definitely a good finish for him. I mean, he started dead last in this race, and he has worked his way all the way up to currently looks like he's in 4th. Still a little bit of racing to go, especially with all these pack race, or the car still in a pack. One bad move and will end the day for a ton of the drivers. As right now, 1st and 2nd now, have a little bit of space between them. We do see the 5 car coming up of Page, as we do see actually the top 10 or so cars now are starting to pull away, as we are having some pit stops on these last couple of laps. Definitely probably not the greatest decision, but we'll definitely see how this plays out. As we see, looks like most of the other pack is now coming into the pits. Doesn't look like anything crazy going on. As the leader now in the 08 car is coming around. We're on lap 36. We got about 4 laps to go, so we'll have to see how this late pit stops are going to affect this race. It looks like everybody's coming into the pits. Hopefully everybody stays low. I've noticed that sometimes cars that are coming out of the pits decide to come and try to jump into the raceway a little bit earlier than they should. As you can see some of the cars now are starting to jump into the raceway, which can be problems. But it looks like everybody is getting into the pits, and we'll have to see how this affects anything, as we still do have the 08 of Malin in the lead. I don't think he has taken a pit stop yet, as he is still about 5 seconds ahead of everybody. And it looks like he's taking the pit stop now, as Weaver's probably going to come around. Oh, looks like Weaver's going to take a pit stop as well. And we'll see if the 27 of Denise is going to come in for a pit stop. Looks like he's probably done with the pits. And looks like that was decently clean. Nobody slamming into each other, so that's always good. As we see the 26 probably should pass the 08 and 10. We'll definitely see what's going to go on. There's the 08. But the 26 seems to be going a little slow as Thorne is now caught up to him very quickly. This is basically this entire pack has caught up to him very quickly. As everybody's starting to sort themselves out. Currently says Weaver is in the lead. About 2 seconds ahead of everybody as everybody now is spread out. Looks like now it says the double or 08 is now in the lead. As we go to him as he's battling out for the lead with Thorne, as this pack looks like it is the lead pack. As we were getting ready to get to the white flag, we see if Thorne is able to get past him. She has help by the 8, the 57, and 14. And yeah, the 08 is taking that line very high. As we were coming to get the white flag, the 08 was able to hold off Thorne in that 0 car, at least this lap. We'll see if Thorne is able to get in front of that 8 car, which she is. It's going to be close if she's able to, on this final turn, get to that inside line. And if the 08 gets pushed to the outside line, which he gets a great run heading into that corner. The 26 gets in front of Thorne, and now the 26 is going for the lead. Is definitely going to be close as he's got the inside line. Is he going to be able to steal it? Yeah, it looks like the 26 was able to steal that win. With the 08 right behind him, Thorne behind him. Yeah, it looks like the 26 of Denise, the 08 Malin. Thorne finishes 3rd place. 8 Reddick finishes 4th place. Cargill 5th place. And Taylor started completely last place, ends up finishing 6th. That is definitely good for him. So it's definitely a clean race today here at Daytona. As we save that just so in case anything crashes. But here we go. So Denise finishes 1st place in the 26 car. Malin 2nd place, Thorne 3rd, Reddick 4th, Cargill 5th. The very surprise player Taylor, who started last place, confirm, I believe he started last place. Yep, 57. He started completely last and ends up getting a 6th place finish. So definitely good on him. Martinez in 7th, Caps in 8th, Haley 9th, and Yates in 10th position. And then we take a look at the rest of the field. So some definitely good racing, huge pack racing. That pit stop on the last about 5 to 6 laps definitely stretched out some of these guys, but still a very good finish. So there were a couple of, looks like Reeves in the 72, he was one of the top cars. Looks like he had a bad pit stop, which basically ended his day as he was 16 seconds back behind the leader. And anybody else? I think Moto led a couple of laps, ends up finishing 31st. O'Brien was towards the front some of the race. Mass was towards the front, ends up getting a 26th position. Sanders again was towards the front. Walker, I think, led a couple laps. He ends up finishing 23rd. So definitely a ton of movement during this race, and a great race for everybody. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to post results shortly, probably tomorrow, and then I'll be posting money and everything else later on after that. So yeah, congratulations to everybody, and I will see you guys